ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter number 3, beginning from text number 13. In the previous 12 verses, Sukadeva Goswami he spoke about the importance of pure devotional service, and his recommendation was that every human being, whatever is his or her goal in life, can attain perfection by taking to Bhakti Yoga, and therefore everyone should perform devotion without depending on any other process. And he said that this is the process which is prescribed by the learned scholars. So as we know that this Bhagavatam started as a dialogue between Sukadeva Goswami and sages at Naimisaranya headed by Saunaka. So now in last two chapters were spoken by Sukadeva Goswami, and there was no mention of Sut or Saunaka. But as we know, it is Sut Goswami, he is repeating this to sages in Naimisaranyaka. So now Saunaka is speaking this verse. He asked question to Sut Goswami, because in the previous description, Parikshit's question was answered. In the last chapter of previous canto, Parikshit Maharaj has asked question to Sukadeva Goswami, who has appeared in the assembly of the sages at the bank of Ganga. And then Sukadeva started answering in this canto. So his answer is over, but Saunaka Rishi was interested in knowing more if there was further dialogue or what really happened after that. So this is what he says in these verses. Saunaka Uvacha iti abhyavirhitam raja nisamya bhartarshabah kimanyat prishtaman bhuyo vaiyaskim rishim kavim. Saunaka said that when King Parikshit has heard the answer which was given above by Sukadeva Goswami, then what did he ask further? To the great sage Vaiyasaki, that is the name of Sukadeva, and who is also a Kavi. So that means Saunaka, he expected that Parikshit must have asked some more questions to Sukadeva, because his question is already replied and there was no need now to ask anything more. The conclusion is given. But Saunaka, knowing the nature of devotees when they meet and how their dialogues they enter into the pastimes of the Lord, as he will say later on. So he is guessing that there must have been more questions, and thus he is posing this to Sut Goswami, because after Sut Goswami gave the answer which was given by Sukadeva, then Sut Goswami became silent and he waited for Saunaka to speak. Also he was interested in knowing if Saunaka has anything else to ask or has he understood. So Saunaka therefore speaks in the upcoming verses. In fact, rest of the chapter is spoken by Saunaka, and then only Sut Goswami begins further speaking in the next chapter. So Sukadeva is specifically mentioned here as Rishi, means who knows things as they are, and also he is called here as Kavi, which literally means a poet or a learned person. This means that not only that he is realized person, but he also has the ability to explain it. That is the significance of Kavi. There are people who understand themselves, but they are not able to say it to others, explain it properly. But Sukdev, he is being referred here as Vyaski, Rishi and Kavi. There are three words used for him. So Vyaski means son of Vyasa, which is to say that he can explain, because Vyasa also means to expand. So he can expand, and he has realization, and he can answer it in proper manner. So therefore Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, he also comments on this. Kim manyat prishtvan iti uktena etenaiva sarva jigyasita siddhir iti vishmeha suchita. He says that he is commenting that Sonaka was little surprised when he heard this answer, and then Suta Goswami became silent. So he was surprised that that's all. And was the king just satisfied with this much? Was his queries completely satisfied? Rishim Parabrahma Darshanam. The word Rishi means who has realization of the Absolute. Kavim Rishishu api madhye tad varnan atishaya chaturam. That although he is a realized person, but more than that, he is very expert in explaining the topic. Then Shonaka, he continues to speak further. He says, Etat chushrutam vidvan sutano harasi bhashitum katha hari katho darkaha satam siusabsi dhruvam. He says that I am very much eager to hear, O Suta Goswami, and it is proper for you to speak to us, because whenever there are saintly people assembled, then their talks ultimately lead to the pastimes of Lord Hari. That means Sonaka is saying that if Sukdev and Parikshit have met together, then definitely there must have been some talks about Krishna's pastimes. When materialistic people meet, then their talks always end up in some material topic, criticizing somebody or glorifying themselves. These are two popular subjects in people in the material world. They don't talk about God or His activities. So in the same way, when devotees meet, but for whatever reason they meet, their talk usually end up in relationship to Krishna. And that is the meaning of Hari Katha Udarka. Udarka means the outcome. That the outcome of their meeting is Hari Katha. So therefore there must have been Hari Katha, and I am interested in hearing that. Shravana Kirtanadini eva svakartavyattvena gyatva api ragya yad anyat prishtam tasmat tesham eva shravanadinam vishya Krishna katha eva prishtavya bhavishyanti iti ashena ahe etaditi. Says after hearing from Sukdev that one should hear about the Lord, one should do kirtan about the Lord and remember Him. Says that definitely there must have been hearing, because Sukdev himself has recommended about hearing. He has said that one should hear. So then naturally Parikshit must have approached Sukdev further to make him hear about Krishna, and this would give opportunity to Sukdev to do kirtan about Krishna. So with this intention he is asking this. Nacha sarga visarga manvantara nana rajadi kathanam api tad anya kathatvam vachyam nityaha kathapi hari kathaeva udarka uttar phalam yasuta sargadi kathanam api Krishna kathayam eva paryavasayitvat Tapi Shravanadi Vishaya iti bhava. So one may say that we see that in Bhagavatam there is a lot of talk about creation and about the Manvantaras and description of the kings and their lineages. So why all this katha is existing? Because this is not Hari Katha. So he says that one should not think like that, because this is all related with Hari Katha. After understanding this, then one can get into the real purport of the pastimes of the Lord. Because Lord's pastimes, they also have some hidden meaning behind them. And that is understood when we know, first of all, His potencies, His energies, how He expands in this creation, how He maintains it, how He appears in various avatars. So once this is understood, then it becomes easy, or one becomes qualified to understand and relish the pastimes of the Lord. So he says that this katha, or these descriptions of creation, etc., they also ultimately end up in Krishna Katha. Because even if you study the nature, creation, and the incarnations, and you analyze them, then that will also lead to Krishna Katha, because He is the cause of all causes. Sarva Karana Karana. So any talk between saintly people will end up in Hari Katha. And therefore there must have been descriptions of Krishna's pastimes. And this is what Shaunaka is eager to hear. So now in the next two verses he gives the qualification of both Parikshit as well as Sukdev, that how Parikshit was also a great devotee of the Lord and Sukdev was also a great devotee. And when the speaker and audience both are devotees, then there has to be some talk of Krishna. So for that reason he speaks the next two verses. Savai Bhagavato Raja Pandaveyo Maharatha Balakridana Kahi Kridan Krishna Kridamya Adade Vaiyasakischa Bhagavan Vasudeva Parayanaha Rugaya Gunodaraha Satam Surhi Samagame. Says indeed that great devotee King Parikshit, who appeared in the dynasty of the Pandavas and who was a great fighter, even as a child he used to imitate the pastimes of Lord Krishna while playing with the toys. So that means it was natural for Parikshit to be absorbed in hearing about Krishna. It was not that he was pleased by somebody to be a devotee of Krishna, but in his own house he has seen Krishna, and his grandfathers were great devotee of Krishna. So it is natural that the children in the family, they see the parents and try to imitate their activities. So Parikshit, naturally as being a devotee of Krishna, he heard a lot about Krishna in his childhood, and even as a child he will play with the toys, imitating Krishna's activity. So he was accustomed to hearing about Krishna from his very childhood. As far as Sukdev is concerned, he says he was completely devoted to Lord Vasudeva. Vaiyasakischa Bhagavan Vasudeva Parayana. At least Parikshit, he was a king and he has to take care of kingdom. He was a family man, he had wife, children. So these things also occupy one's mind. But Sukdev Goswami, he had nothing else to do. He was totally renounced person and he has no duties. And his mind was captivated by Krishna's qualities. He was a perfected being from his birth, but later on he heard about Krishna, and that attracted his mind. This he has acknowledged in the very beginning when he started speaking to Parikshit. And he says that Parinishthitopi Nirgunye Uttam Shloka Liya Grihita Cheta Rajavse Akhyanam Yadhitavan. He says that although I was Parinishta, I was fully absorbed in Brahman, which is Nirgunya, free from the modes of nature. He says Uttam Shloka Leelaya, the pastimes of Lord Krishna, they had attracted his mind. Not only attracted but completely captivated his mind. And that's why he studied Bhagavatam. So after that, he became fully devoted to describing Krishna's pastime. We also read earlier, Atma Ramasya Munyo Nirgrantha Pyurukrame Kurvanti Hetkim Bhaktim Itham Bhuta Gunohari. He was an Atma Ram and he has no concern for anything. So when his mind was captured by Krishna's pastimes, then he became fully absorbed in that because his mind was not into anything else. He was like completely free. Therefore he is called here as Vasudeva Parayana, means fully devoted to Lord Krishna. And sometimes people can also misinterpret this word Vasudeva as meaning to Brahman, because Vasu means that which exists everywhere, which is all pervading. But Vasudeva here refers to Lord Krishna, son of Vasudeva. And this we know from the earlier history and also from other statements. So Sukadeva Goswami, a great devotee of the Lord, he met Parikshit, and then he says that there must be generous talks about Lord Krishna. Urugai Gunodara Satam Syurhi Samagami. That again he says that when saintly people meet, then there is talk about Krishna. So there are many statements in Bhagavatam, also in Bhagavad Gita, which repeat this point, that devotees, whenever they meet, they discuss about the Supreme Lord. सताम सदसी अपि प्राचीन अर्वाचीनेषु मध्ये सा सभा सर्वतः श्रेष्ठा यत्र श्रोता वक्ता च सर्वतोपि विलक्षण इत्याह सवै इति द्वाभ्याम. He says, in the assembly of saintly people also, that assembly is considered as the best, where the audience and the speaker, they are very extraordinary, meaning that they are very much devoted to the Lord. So now he wants to stress on this point that this meeting between Sukadeva and Parikshit Maharaj was very, very wonderful, extraordinary meeting, because both are rare devotees of the Lord. And when they met, he is very eager to know what they spoke. It's like if you know some great personality, some learned scholar or somebody whom you like very much, and someone goes to meet that person, then you are very eager to know what that person has said and what did you ask him. Or if it has been recorded, then you want to hear that cassette or CD or whatever. So similarly, Sonaka Rishi, because now Lord Krishna was not present at that time, nor Parikshit, he is very much eager to know what was the dialogue. So Sukadeva Goswami, he had the CD. He remembers everything. And he is going to repeat that. So it is the great fortune for meeting somebody who can recite. And Sukadeva Goswami, because he heard from Sonaka when he was when Sukdev spoke to Parikshit Maharaj and he remembers everything. So he is questioning him for that. And in the following verses, he is going to speak very strongly about people who are not interested in hearing about Krishna Katha. Krishna Kridanu Karnanam. Krishna Krida means imitating the pastimes of Lord Krishna. Bhagwan Sarvagya. Sukadeva Goswami is called Bhagwan here, which is the word used for the Supreme Lord. But here it means one who knows everything. Satam Samagame Sati Uru Gayasya Krishnasya Guna Eva Udara Manovanchit Artha Pradatara Tatratyanam Janishyamananam Cha Jananam Dhruvansu. He says in the assembly of devotees there will be definitely talks about Krishna, and this talks here has been called as generous. So usually it is a person who is generous, not the talk is generous. Generous means one who is very charitable, very munificent, he gives. So he says that this Krishna Katha is very generous because it can fulfill your desire and then give you something which you are not even desiring. Because very generous person means who gives more than what you want. Like Vaman Dev went to Bali Maharaj, asked for 3 feet, and Bali Maharaj was a very generous person. So he again and again asked that you take something more. Why only 3 feet of land? So that is the characteristic of a generous person. A miser person doesn't want to give even what is asked. And generous person gives more than that. So the pastimes of the Lord, Krishna Katha, is called Udara, or very generous. Why? Because it fulfills your desire, what you want, and then gives more than that. Because then it gives attachment to the Lord. That's why in the previous verse, it was verse number 12, it was said that Harikathasu Ratim ne Kuriyat ko Nirvito. That who is that person who will not become attached to the pastimes of the Lord, because they are so satisfying, they bring complete satisfaction. So that is the quality of the pastimes of the Lord. Atastan gunan atra pravartayet. So he says that those qualities, they will be manifest here. Tena Krishna Kathodarka Kathasya Bhaktair Aswadaniya iti bhava. So the meaning is that one should also relish those descriptions which will lead to Krishna Katha. Not that sometimes people say that they are interested only in 10th canto of Bhagavatam because it is directly talking about Krishna Katha. And the first 9 cantos, they are not important. So they are also important because they are related to Krishna Katha. And one who is not interested in hearing Krishna Katha, for that Sonaka speaks very strongly, because he says that such people are just wasting their time. So he is very strong, he is not sparing anybody. Says Ayur Harti Vaipunsham Udyanastam Chayannasau Tasya Ritayat Shano Nita Uttama Shloka Vartaya Tarvaha Kim Na Jivanti Bhastra Kim Na Shvasanti न खादंती न मेहंती किम ग्रामे पशुओं परे स्वेविड वराह उष्ट्र खरई संस्तुत पुरुष पशु नयत कर्ण पथोपेतो जातु नाम गदाग्रज. Says that the sun, by its rising and setting, is taking away the life of a person who does not utilize even one moment in hearing about the Lord. That means our life is meant for hearing about Krishna. And if we don't utilize it for that, then we are wasting our life. So if somebody says that, why you say that, why we are wasting our life, we are living. So he says that, don't you think that the trees are living? Sarva kimana jivanti. So if you live without Krishna Katha, then you are like a tree. He is also living. So then someone say, but tree does not breathe. You don't see tree breathing like us. So he says, oh, if you think about breathing, then what about the bellows of the blacksmith? They breathe much powerful. You see them. Big bellow, a lot of air goes in, more than what your lungs can hold. So then he says that, but the bellows, they only breathe, they don't eat. So he says, na khadanti na mehanti, kim grama pasvo pare. He says, if you talk about eating and having sex, then there are other type of animals, the domestic animals, who are also engaged in that. So they are called grama pashu, means the village animal or domestic animal. And a person who is not interested in hearing about Krishna, then such a person is also narpashu. He is a human animal. But this human animal is little more, is a bigger animal, because it says Swavid Varaha Ushtra Kharai Svanstuta Purusha Pashu Nayat Karna Patho Preto Jatu Nama Gadagraja. The person whose ears have never heard the name of Lord Krishna, then he is a Purusha Pashu. He is a human animal. Purusha means human and Pashu means animal. So he is a human animal who is glorified by a dog, a pig, by a camel, and by a donkey. Why he is glorified by them? Because they say that this man has all our qualities. The quality of a dog, quality of donkey, quality of a pig, quality of a camel, they exist only in their respective species. The dog's qualities are not found in in a camel, and camel's qualities are not found in a dog. But this human animal has all the qualities. So then these people, they combinedly, they glorify him, that you are a very big animal because you have what we all combined together have. Besides that, we don't hear about Krishna, you also don't hear, but you have very wonderful qualities. So he is called Swavid Varaha Ushtra Kharai Sanskruta Purusha Pasha. That a human animal being glorified by this. Or he is a human animal who is glorified by other human animals. The small animals, they glorify the big animal. So you see this all the time, that how the bigger animals, they are glorified by the small ones. And then small one is always eager to become the big one. So he is glorifying not that he really has respect for this big animal, but he is thinking that when will I get the opportunity that I pull down this big animal and I take its position. So these are all animals according to Shaunaka. Anyone who is not engaged in hearing about the Lord. So this is his very strong criticism and can agitate the mind of anybody. Says Natra Vilamba Karya Ityaha Ayuriti. He is telling to Sut Goswami that please do not delay in answering my question. Sut Goswami says that why, what is the hurry? We are assembled here living in the forest. We don't have to catch any train or any flight. So why are you so impatient? He says because we are all losing our life. How we are losing our life? He says Asau Surya Udyan Udayam Prapnuvan Astam Adarsanam Chayan Gachan Tasyayu Rite Vina Yat Kshena Kshana Avsara. He says this sun by its setting and by its rising is taking away our life, except for the person who is engaging his time in hearing about the Lord. So sometimes in India, people give this argument that now when you are young, why you have to bother about religion? You should now pursue your career. And when you are old, retired person, then you can engage. But first of all, it is not guaranteed that one is going to become old and then only die. You can die any time. Even Parikshit Maharaj, he got cursed. And now there are various types of curses available. And secondly, that it is not guaranteed that when you become old, you will get an opportunity to hear. And even if you get an opportunity, you will have interest in it. And you will really become free from your responsibilities. So these are all excuses. Therefore he says that please, we want to hear now. Yatayena kshano api nitah tasya ayu. Says that if you have engaged even a moment, then your life becomes successful. Tavata eva kalena sarvam ayu safalam bhavati. Then just by engaging little time of your life in hearing about Krishna can make your whole life successful. Then he gives a very nice example. Ekasyam eva shakhayam phalitayam vrikshoyam phalvan iti yathauchyate. So just as if there is a tree and the fruit comes only on one branch of that tree, not on all the branches. Still we say that, oh, this tree is useful because it is giving some fruit. If it doesn't give any fruit, any flower, then we say it's useless tree. But even if it gives fruit on one branch, then it is considered as good tree. And because of that, the whole tree becomes successful. So in the same way, if you spend little bit of your time in hearing about the Lord, then that little bit of time makes your whole life successful. And then what to speak if you actually engage more time in hearing. So it says, Prati Shakham Phalvatve Kamuttvameva. If all the branches of the tree are carrying fruits, then that fruit is very wonderful. So similarly, if our whole life is engaged in hearing, Sarvasya Ayushaha Krishna Varta Viktatvam Upeksha, then that life is definitely very beneficial. But at least we should spend some time, once in our lifetime. Nanu evam ched ayur harana bhavat Krishna Varta Arpita Kshano Jana Nemriyet. Now he raises one very interesting doubt. He says if the sun takes away the life only of a person who does not hear about Krishna Katha, then why is that these people who hear Krishna Katha, they also die? Because sun is not taking away their life, so then they should not die. So, but we see that those who hear and chant, they also die, and other people are also dying. So how do you say that their life is being taken away by the sun and not of the life of those who are engaged in hearing and chanting. So he says, yes, you are right that they also die, but there is a difference. सत्पात्री कृत वित्तो जनो अक्षय वित्तो यथा उच्यते परत्र तद भोगानंत्य प्राप्ते समम ब्राह्मणे दानम द्विगुणम ब्राह्मणे भवेत्